The following content contains adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to this live edition of Pacific414 Talk, coming to you live on the Pacific414 YouTube and the Pacific414 Rumble channel, along with Cash Money 007, Paranorman Tag. I am your host, Mike, and tonight we have a few topics we are going to talk about. Some of them are political, so if that's not your thing, I understand, but these are very important things to discuss for tonight. But first, before we get into those topics, Baron and Cash, how are you gentlemen doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'm doing okay, I guess. Just doing stuff, being cool.
He's looking for dear
Yeah.
leader again. So that's what Baron's
I'm
doing.
looking for a dear leader in all the wrong places.
And no, Brandon, this is not an open panel. Told you the last time you were here, open panels are done. So, with today's stories, we are going to talk about the new Forbidden Planet movie in development at Warner Brothers from writer Brian K. Vaughan. And then we are going to get into our main topic for the evening from Cosmic Book News. It's an article by Matt McGloin, and it says Trump victory already making Hollywood great again. Oscars changed things up. I have a few thoughts on this, even though I haven't read the article yet. And we have a story that's going to tie into, and no pun intended when I say tie, into that Cosmic Book News article, because Family Ties star Justine Bateman says Trump election lifted suffocating cloud on free speech. Well, read that article and see exactly what she means on that.
I see what you did there, though.
Yeah. And we also have an article from Niche Gamer, and it's about Tomb Raider 4 through 6 remastered and new details concerning that release. And then, since we didn't look at it on Sunday, we will take a look at the weekend box office. And then at the 8 o'clock hour, we'll shift to Rumble only, because we're going to talk about what happened yesterday between the Ukraine and Russia on the Rumble side. And I know we all have a few thoughts on that.
Thinking's hard.
Not when it comes to current events. It's not hard at all.
Well, that's what Cash told me, at least. So I'm going by his word.
No.
What? Okay, fine.
Go back to your dear leader, man.
Dear leader.
And before we get underway, I do want to say hello to Tim and also Brandon. And honestly, it doesn't matter who gets here first, who gets here second, who gets here last. Everybody's welcome here on Pop Talk. So let's go ahead and get into our first article here from Geek Tyrant about Warner Brothers working on Forbidden Planet. It's in development. It was actually in development before under James Cameron, and then that project fell off. So
Which
we'll
is
find out the
good.
details here. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's good to see the Lawn Suffering here with us as well. Good to see you.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Aren't you supposed to be at work, love? Or is she taking
There,
a break?
there.
What?
She could be watching us while she's at work.
Oh,
Say, yeah,
okay.
yes. This is my husband and his two dorky friends.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
sure. I
She would
think
do that.
Baron's the biggest dork out of the three of us right now, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's
There's a lot.
yeah. Well, she shows around. Uses this for sympathy points. So you two guys are actually helping with that. So
So, with this article from Geek Tyrant, it's written by Joey Parr. It says new Forbidden Planet movie in development at Warner Brothers from writer Brian K. Vaughan. This was published 5 days ago. I saw it and I was going, no, 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 please. Can we just leave some of the classics alone? Leave them alone.
yeah, second that.
So it says Warner Brothers is developing a remake of the 1956 sci-fi classic Forbidden Planet, which we did a watch party on this year,
Yeah,
and
still a great movie.
dedicated it to Clobbering Times, Mike Alonso. So it says the movie will be written by comic book and screenwriter Brian K. Vaughan, Runaways, Under the Dome, Lost, and it will be produced by Emma Watts. James Cameron once attempted to make this movie, but due to the complicated rights issues, he was never able to move forward with it. WB managed to clear that hurdle, and they are now moving forward with their own project. The original film is set in the 23rd century.
Dun,
Or
dun,
a
dun.
sci-fi TV series, which was more than likely inspired in part by Forbidden Planet, was also set in the 23rd century.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting, but stupid.
Yes. And the Lawn Suffering says yes, and she also says true. The story follows Commander John J. Adams and the crew of the United Planet starship C-57D as they are sent to the distant planet Altar 4 to investigate the disappearance of a previous expedition. When they arrive, they discover Dr. Edward Morbius, a survivor who lives in isolation with his daughter, Alteria, and their advanced robot servant, Robbie. Morbius reveals that the rest of the expedition was mysteriously killed, and he has since uncovered remnants of an ancient and highly advanced alien civilization known as the Krell. These aliens built a massive underground machine capable of materializing thoughts into reality, but their civilization was destroyed by the unintended consequences, of this technology. As the crew explores the planet, they encounter a mysterious invisible force that threatens their lives. It is ultimately revealed that the monster is a manifestation of Dr. Morbius' subconscious mind, amplified by the Krill's machine. His own repressed desires and fears have become a destructive force, leading to the deaths of the previous expedition members. The original film is fantastic. This is the author of the article talking. but I like those old sci-fi films from the 50s and 60s. I was excited about the remake when Cameron was looking to make it. Hopefully, this new creative team will put together a great story and team to bring this reimagining of Forbidden Planet to life. Or they could just leave it alone
Mm-hmm.
and we can cherish the classic and show off the classic in all its glory.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
No, that makes too much sense.
That's right.
I know. Too much logic, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
One of your
and
green-blooded Vulcan would like that because it uses logic.
mm, and the thing is too is one of the things they forget that J. Michael Zazinski was trying to do it himself also, but I don't think he got very far. But he wanted to explore that, and
Yeah.
he basically his opinion was he wanted to do it so he could make the technology look better than
But that's
50s.
part of
But
the charm of the original 1956 film
mm-hmm,
is the way the technology looks.
exactly, I concur.
And
I concur.
we don't need the movie updated in any way, shape, or form, in my
No.
opinion.
No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. It's an iconic look.
Mm-hmm.
It gave us
Now
Robbie for crying out loud. How would you redo Robbie?
you can't. You'd have to bring in the original Robbie the Robot,
Mm-hmm.
or at least build one that looks exactly like it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe to put more digital on him.
I mean, you know, who's going to be, the lead actor? Who's going to play Adams?
Mm.
Why don't they do
That's
something
a hard one.
smarter and actually do something,
I,
inspired by
I'm
this?
just
Like,
asking that question because they're going to go forward with this.
Mm-hmm.
So who are you going to put in that role? Who could
But,
fill Nelson's shoes? Really?
Ryan Reynolds there. No, I'm
hmm.
kidding. Um,
another remake that doesn't need to be made.
I mean, let's face it. Adams was the prototype for, you could say, both Kirk and Pike.
mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't have quite the stick up his bum like Pike had.
No, he didn't.
Yep. But that's. But yeah, I mean, he's probably more like a Robert April. Here we go. It's
Mm-hmm.
Captain April.
Yeah. And are they still going to stick with that flying saucer design for the ship? I mean, that's part of the iconic look of the movie.
Right. I mean, what an amazing set they had, with that. I mean, what was it? 3/4 at least, or
Mm-hmm.
what they built of the ship on the set, and it's like, that kind of helps out with the actors and everything, and also helps with the special effects. you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do tricks to put it in there.
No, and the special effects are also what make the movie charming because
Mm-hmm.
it's what they could do with the technology at the time. And
And
still, they
really,
did a remarkable job considering it was Disney that came in and did
mm-hmm,
the special effects.
right. And really, some of those effects still hold up today.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, God bless practical effects.
I mean, when you look at practical effects versus effects against a green screen, you can tell the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Cash, what are your thoughts on this?
He fell asleep.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he's awake. Okay.
Just it's just another remake. Doesn't need to be made.
Hmm.
And instead, they should use something like the blueprint of this movie and make something like it. Because I feel that we still need more sci-fi out there, good sci-fi, but they won't do that. No, we have to remake this. And the chances of them doing this correctly is probably very slim because they'll go off in some directions or just don't do it. There's just a lot of these remakes that don't need to happen unless you care a lot. If you want to do something like True Grit, like that remake, um, then fine. There's been a few remakes that have worked, but it's very rare, and they
Yeah.
should stop doing this. But they can't. They've done Roadhouse, then Clash of the Titans. Of course, then they did a sequel to it. They did Jumanji. I know
310 to
people
Yuma
say
was another
Mhm,
remake that they've done, and
which
Hmm.
they
actually
actually
turned
pulled
out
it off
well.
pretty well.
Right. Yeah. So it's just it's crazy to me. I don't know why they want to keep doing this. It just shows how lazy Hollywood is, how they don't want to try something new, how they're still worried about failing. Really, and ask people. Like, I love to see a focus group and say, hey, how many of you would like this remake? And I would like to see how many have raised their hands.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
No, I wouldn't. And, some people are saying, and I know this isn't a black and white movie, but some people are saying how there are audiences out there today who won't sit down and watch a black and white movie. Why? You're missing out on a great film.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, like the day the Earth stood still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't need to remake that one. I'm sorry, Keanu, but you didn't need to remake that movie.
No. And it's good to
It,
see the Padawan be over on the Rumble side.
rumble, rumble, rumble.
So we got
Yeah.
so many remakes, we got so many this, we got so many that. And once again, they just take something like this and then build on it and make some cool sci-fi thing, and maybe it's a tribute to this instead of, hey, let's remake this.
Well, have it set place
Mhm.
in that universe.
That's right.
Uh, Maybe
Exactly.
bump the timeline ahead like 10, 20
Yes.
years or so.
Right.
Uh,
Yes.
on board another ship,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
another captain. Uh, you know.
Even probably a sequel, just even trying it would probably be more
Hmm.
interesting after all these years. But it's just they won't. They're so worried about failing. They're like, let's just play it safe, and that's one of the biggest problems with Hollywood still today is they want to keep playing it safe, and they don't need
Right.
to. They should fail, and then something else will come out of it. That's what's always happened. Or maybe
Mm-hmm.
it'll succeed, and then something else will come out of it that's even better. So yeah, but no.
You don't
And
know.
it's good to see Jet
Mhm.
Sparks 373 here, who says not only were they not sit down and watch black and white movies, heck, I probably bet most Gen Zs doesn't even know what Forbidden Planet even is. Yeah,
Probably not, man.
they they
Hmm.
they they probably are shown a movie. They're not told what the movie's called. They just see that it's in black and white and they turn away. I'm just
Yes.
taking a guess here.
Hmm.
I mean, some of my favorite black and white movies were ones I would watch with my grandparents.
Right.
Watching It's a Wonderful Life in black and white, not the Technicolor version that they release years later. It's much better in black and white. A
Yeah.
Night to Remember, that's a good movie to watch in black and white. I've seen where people have taken the time to, you know, put it in color, but it loses its charm. Those movies that were shot in black and white, they lose their charm when you add color to them.
Right.
I mean, heck, Casablanca has been put into color. I prefer it in black and white.
Hmm. I guess one film I guess I'd be forgiving about if they colorize it is the aforementioned the Day the Earth Stood Still, because they wanted to film that in color, they just didn't have the budget to do it.
Yeah.
So that one, I guess I wouldn't. But again, with that caveat, I would want them to make sure that they make the black and white print all nice and pretty too. Do full restoration on it and have both available for people.
Yeah. Give folks an option. Heck, you could even put it in the case. One disc is the black and white, the other disc is the color. So you can choose.
Right. But that is one of my few exceptions to that rule that I have about because if it was something was meant but they didn't have the budget, then I can understand and see them doing it. But colorization has gotten a hell of a lot better since Turner started doing it way back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was not.
It was a novel idea when Turner started it, but they still needed to let it cook in the oven a little bit more.
Right. But it was experimental back then, so we got to see it as they were experimenting, which is good. Which is good, yeah.
But all I'm gonna say, folks, don't wait for a remake of Forbidden Planet. Watch Forbidden Planet. If you see it on a good deal, for the Black Friday or Cyber Monday holiday sales, pick it up. If you see that it's being broadcast on cable TV, I don't know how many people still have cable TV. I'm not going to act like there's very few people that have cable TV anymore. There's probably still quite a few people who still have it. But if you see it on cable TV, watch it. This movie is worth watching.
It is. It's hard, in many ways. If you like Star Trek, and I'm talking about real Star Trek, those that only think the new Trek is the way to go, you won't like it. But if you're an old time Trekkie, we're talking about up to 2005. Yeah, you should watch this. This is truly inspiration. It is very Star Trek feeling. You'd swear that this was like an original pilot before the cage.
Yep. You would have sworn that it was Gene Roddenberry and the writers getting together coming up with a story. But instead, it's pretty much the foundation for setting up Star Trek. Because you see a lot of similarities. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everything that's out there comes from something. Whether it be books, movies, even songs. Songs are inspired by other songs.
Yeah. Well, exactly. You got to have. I mean, there are those rare cases, or sometimes the cover of an original song is better than the original one. I mean, you listen to Neil Diamond's "I'm a Believer," and then you hear the Monkees version. It's like, yeah, it's a good thing it went to the Monkees, even though Neil Diamond wrote it. That kind of went along the way for a lot. That the cover actually did better than the original because they just didn't quite have it for that. Someone was able to take something out of that song and even make it more impressive. They saw something, and but it's kind of hard to do that with television and movie. I mean, I will be honest, 100% here, 100%.
Okay.
The remake thing, I teeter back and forth on, and the reason why that is how often do you have plays redone all the time, and maybe having a little change to them. Take a look at the different iterations of Shakespeare.
Well, there's several revivals on Broadway of shows that have been on Broadway many times before. But there's a revival. They might change something up here and there. Or, my sister, for example, She's a big Broadway fan, and she's always kept track of different productions of the Phantom of the Opera because they're
Right.
all telling the same story, but depending on the venue, they may not all be set up the same way. So they change it just a little bit here and there. That makes it unique
Mhm.
to that venue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and also the actors and actresses coming in and doing a slightly different take of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're going in there and destroying, but they have an interpretation in their acting that they do different, which is always interesting to do. Are you take a look at what is it?
Well, it's just like
With
somebody
Shakespeare.
did fan projects and stuff. It's basically like when they did this hip hop bebop, but it was still cowboy bebop. It's just
Mm-hmm.
an all black version, but they still care enough about following the formula, and that's what should always be the most important thing.
Hmm. Yeah. What is the Shakespeare film you never say the name of because it's bad luck? Is it King Lear? I think it's King Lear,
I'm not
right?
sure.
Yeah, might
I
be.
thought it was Macbeth.
Macbeth, thank you,
Oh.
because yeah, Lady Macbeth, out damn spot. Well, back in I don't think maybe it might have been late '80s, but definitely in the '90s, um, our great Magneto slash Gandalf, who is a big Shakespearean star. People might not know that.
Yeah, he is.
Uh, and he went out there and redid that movie, that play, as a like 1940s in a fascist dictatorship. Interesting take, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it depends. As long as you have what the spirit of the original, but you take a little different take, and of course a different actor. That can work for movies, except for one thing. You can't do it all that often because we have you know you know, so many, we have the hard media of it,
Mm-hmm.
where plays, basically people talk about it, but there's no recordings necessarily. No one, only if you saw the play do you know. Um, but have a different, as long, and that's the problem with the remakes today, is Hollywood is too busy going in there and destroying them with their identity politics and other BS, the wokeness. We got, what can we do to insert all the check marks in there instead of keeping it what it's supposed to be? And if they kept closer to the source material, even if they decided to turn something, say they turn one of the Shakespeare plays into a science fiction epic, right? As long as they got it, as long, and I mean, in a sense, that's what Forbidden Planet was the Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
You had what was it? West End Story, Romeo and Juliet.
West Side Story. West Side.
Yeah, West Side. Sorry. Oh, I was thinking of those East End girls.
Sorry, having grown up in a
I
house
know.
where your sister and your mother are into Broadway, it does
Mhm. Yeah, well, I
infiltrate
don't
the
mind being
brand.
corrected. Yeah,
It does
I
infiltrate.
know. But I mean, that in and by itself was Romeo and Juliet. So I mean, if they do take something that already existed and did a remake, keeping true, but change, you know, some aspects, or just if they have a talented actor or actress coming in to play in there instead of the flavors of the week that we've been getting,
Yeah.
and whose acting is like, you got to be kidding me, this guy's a star or that gal's a star. Then it'll be interesting, but we're not getting that now. We did have some good remakes in the past, and they were intriguing because there was still the love. People loved the movie, and they're now bringing their take, but their take is still within the boundaries of what the original was.
Hmm. Well, speaking of originals, you can find the original A Star Is Born. That's in public domain now. You can watch that. And
Hmm.
how many times
Yeah.
has that movie been remade over and over again?
Oh my word, Cash! You're the one that stole this. Oh, he fell asleep. Mm.
He's got to make a sandwich.
Yeah, that tofu wrap, kale wrapped tofu. teriyaki tofu with bean sprouts. Good stuff, Maynard. I tell you. But so and that is my caveat to the whole thing. Just don't do a remake to do a remake because you're bankrupt. If you're doing for ideas, if you're doing a remake properly, you still have to have ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to figure out how you can do this, or bring it to. When I say modern audience, I'm not talking about the SJWBS. I'm talking about people of today, right?
Yeah.
So they can identify a little bit more with what the story is about. But we don't have that. It's just like, okay, let's just go out there and proselytize all our check boxes, and if you don't like it, you're S full blah blah. Well, we heard it all before.
Yeah.
You're garbage.
Right.
It's the same old
garbage.
kind of dance.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Baron, I mean, what?
Yeah,
what? Huh? No, just take. It's just like you look at something like the original Forbidden Planet, and you go, okay, what could we take out of this and maybe make another story, or maybe even somehow a continuation, like you said, Baron, or 10 years later, 20 years later, from where the first movie started, and try something new, and get a cast and make them obviously watch the original Forbidden Planet. That's another thing. This whole situation all the time that source material doesn't matter. It's crazy.
Yeah, so we're doing this new TV series on Peacemaker, but I don't want you to read any of the original material.
Right, that's
Right.
ridiculous.
That's the wrong way to go.
It is. It really
and
is.
it's good to see DJ play nice. Good to see you.
What's up?
Says
Yeah.
stopping by to say hi, the live, and move on down the road. Have a great show. Thank you very much, DJ Play Nice. Good to see you again.
We have hours and hours. We have hours and hours and hours and hours of sci-fi that people could take and build from that alone and see what they could create. But they're just so afraid that, of course, that they're going to fail and then just take chances. That's how a lot of this stuff came about before. People took chances, just like D&D, all this stuff. Hey, let's see how this goes. What's the worst that could happen?
The original
And they
Star
need
Trek
that attitude.
took chances.
Exactly. Lucas took chances. I mean, people took chances on things.
Right.
Spielberg took chances. You have to take chances and see where something might be a hit. It might turn out to be crap, but still something else once again can come out of it. You just need more writers to go in there and say, look, why don't we try something, build on something else? Why don't we stop a lot of these remakes? You need people in there to say, let's stop this. Let's try to make something new. Let's try to build on something that we've had before. And if we fail, well, okay, but at least we tried something. And then we'll see what happens from there. So, yeah.
Right.
That's why a lot of these fan projects can succeed, because they care so much about, once again, the source material. But they take their own style and add to it while still keeping the formula. It should be that simple, but people want to make it all of a maze, a lot of people in Hollywood nowadays. So it's crazy. Like, we never needed an Independence 2. That never should have happened.
No.
The first one had a solid script, and I can understand other people that they're banking on too many special effects. I get that, but still, it was an enjoyable film. It had a good message about humanity. So, yeah, the first one did. Good acting, and really, then they make a second one, but without Will Smith. Like, you need to have the main stars still in these projects as well, because if you don't, I just think it will never be the same. So, or just don't do a sequel to a lot of this stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I still cannot push myself to watch Jumanji, like the
new one,
remake, the remake, and then the sequel. I think was there only two.
They did a sequel?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh God.
I hear. Yeah, some people were saying the sequel's very good. I don't know.
See, what we're trying to tell you, Hollywood, is you need to take risks. And
Yes.
there was one man who had a
Yeah.
great speech in the original series about taking risks.
But I'm not. Because Dr. McCoy is right in pointing out the enormous danger potential.
Yes, there is enormous danger potential
Mhm.
with new ideas.
Oh yeah.
But that's why you have to take a risk.
Mhm.
In contact with life and intelligence as fantastically advanced as this. But I must point out that the possibilities, the potential.
Think about the potential of coming up with a new IP and people gravitate toward it because it's good.
Yep.
And they'll remember your name. How are
Mhm.
you going to be remembered if you don't take a risk?
Mhm.
But knowledge and advancement is equally great. Risk. Risk is our business.
That's what Hollywood used to do. Take risk, take chances.
Right, because art is not a science. Art is art. There's
Mhm.
no science to it. I mean, there's a science to setting up the lights, getting the camera set up, but even then, there is okay. Normally, we would set things up like this, but let's try this. No, that's too unorthodox. No, let's just do it. Let's give it a try. Oh my God, that turned out beautiful. Why?
Mhm.
You broke the rules of what was established because this is art. Art is a
I mean,
risk.
Yes.
say
always
say
is.
what you will about James Cameron, but to build
Yes.
a practically full version of the Titanic for filming Titanic,
Yes.
that took a lot of risk too.
Yep.
Yeah, as much of an ego as he has, he certainly makes things that make tons and tons of money. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's also the 3D effects that he pushes. There's things that he will push that people are always interested in. Even though I would tell people that like Avatar, the story is, nothing special. It really isn't. But
No,
there
it's
is some good
Pocahontas.
parts to it. Yeah, right, exactly. Or
White
Dancing
man
with the
bad.
Wolves. Yep. A lot of white man is bad. Yeah.
Well, shit, guys, that does it for us.
Hmm.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah,
But
time for us to be eliminated.
yeah.
Yeah, bye. It was nice
But
knowing you all.
I mean, and then something comes out like Alita Battle Angel, which focused a lot on the actual source material and was made did pretty well. I think it actually did pretty well at the box office. I have to check, but you got to
A lot
take
of
risks
people
on
were
these
liking
things.
it more
Mhm.
than Captain Marvel, that's for sure.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's just like at the time when that was going on, it it's just crazy because you're like, oh, you read the source material, but it always goes back to everything that they could do from Moon Knight to anything that they could just do an amazing show, amazing Marvel show based a lot on the source material and just go from there. Not everything, but a lot, and they could make something great. But it's just like with people like James Gunn, he's got to make me believe that he actually cares enough that he's not going to do this whole thing about how doom and gloom Superman is and like where is the humanity,
That's
where
not
is the hope?
Superman though. That's
Exactly.
not
No, it's
what
not.
Superman stands for. It's
No,
never
it
been
is
what Superman stands for,
never.
doom and gloom. He stands
Never.
for hope,
That's right.
Hmm.
The only
optimism.
reason he ever got mad is because of things that happened in his life. Like the whole thing, the injustice thing is very interesting. What would happen if Lois Lane died in his life? How would he feel about it? And I believe he would feel about that, and he might go crazy. And he might cause a lot of problems because she passed away, because she was killed or something else. I agree with that. I mean, we saw how he was in the first movie. So, I love seeing that, but that's pushing the boundaries. Like, how would somebody feel in that situation? And that's another thing we want to see with characters. How would they feel when someone actually dies? Would they care? Would they not care? All this stuff. But this is It all comes down
That
to all
seems
this
something
writing.
you could ask yourself in your life if something
That's
were to
right.
happen, if a loved one were to pass away or someone you cared about
Exactly.
passed away unexpectedly. How would you handle it?
That's right.
Some people would still be very stoic about it.
Mm-hmm.
They may not show their emotions in public, but maybe in private. Or, some people, they let their emotions come out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
That's why.
handles it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's why
Amen.
Carter and Captain America's story is interesting. That's why, because they're building all this stuff, and it just keeps building and building, and how they met, and then what happens next, and how he feels about Peggy, and all these things. And even when he was this skinny guy, she still respected him. And this is why I don't know. I sometimes I wish they would just hire a lot of us to go in there and start fixing Hollywood in a lot of
But
ways.
Here's the thing that she saw in Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
She saw that he never gave up.
That's right. Exactly.
He was determined.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Even if there was someone bigger than him, he was still determined to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He was, yeah.
So, any final thoughts before we get into our main topic of the evening?
Just do better.
Always. Like, there's some
Huh.
good stuff out there, but take it to another level again. Hire some people that care a lot about your material. That would help in itself a lot.
Well, yeah, but just do better. I mean, really, if you have to take the risk, because the risk takers are the ones that will be remembered,
Mm-hmm.
not those that cower and hide because they're afraid of failing.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail, but just do it, because you might not.
That's right.
And yeah, I think that's how it went in Injustice. Padawan. Superman did go crazy because he realized what he did. It broke him.
Mm-hmm.
Autocorrect is a pain. Just gotta say it. All right, so we're getting.
Is it really autocorrect? Really? Is it really? Yeah. X'd out.
Baron, that's more on the lines of me. Whether it's autocorrect or my own typing and not looking at what I typed before I hit send. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm guilty of that.
Me too.
All right, so we're getting into our main article here, and I have a few thoughts, but I haven't read this article yet, and I will let my thoughts formulate even more as I read the article.
Mm-hmm.
And no, it wasn't published 4 minutes ago. It was a few days ago I found this, but you know what? I think we should talk about this.
Oh! Let me get something. Let me get something here. Let's put something. We gotta make sure we got that in. Everyone, burn this into your eyes. There. In my name.
All right, I will. We'll see. Let's read the article first, Baron. before we declare any kind of victory.
Freaking Baron, man.
Because I'm not ready to claim victory at any measure of the needs. And hold on, I gotta get rid of something here. Oh, never mind, it's Blues. Never mind. Hey, Blues, what's up? Well,
you almost got
on StreamYard. It's coming up as gibberish.
Yeah. It's not his fault.
And then I look over at the chat. It's like, no, it's just Blues posting Trump emojis. That's fine.
Oh my! He almost got you, man. Mike was gonna
Hold
crush.
your fire. Hold your fire. Friendly target. Friendly target. And Yoron says, I disagree. I don't believe him. Killing Lois drove him insane. I think it ended his connection with humanity and he embraced his Kryptonian impulses. Well, good point there, too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to see Blues.
Hey,
And
Blues.
look who's here. Look who's here. Looky, looky, looky.
He always
Yeah,
finds us.
I don't wanna. No lucky from me.
Phil
He's
Phil
scary.
says, hi, Mike. Over Hill, over there, always Team Epic Phil, and Never Phil. Pop Talk is here. So is Cash Money. Boo, boo. You okay, Phil? You okay?
I think he took the wrong pills again.
All right, hold on, Blues. That's why I had the Rumble chat pulled up. It's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. Hold your fire, hold your fire. That's not the target. I repeat, hold your fire. That's not the target.
Mike's feisty today.
He is. It's
Yeah,
great.
I just might be. I know you're kidding, Blue. So I know. But let's go ahead and get into this article from Matt McGloin, which was actually posted a few days ago. Don't believe that 4 minutes ago.
No.
So, as you can see by the headline, it says Trump victory already making Hollywood great again. I still have my doubts. I do. I still have my doubts. Oscars changed things up. That was quick. It hasn't even been 2 weeks, and already Donald Trump's landslide victory over Kamala Harris is causing big changes in Hollywood. Just imagine what happens when he actually is back in the White House. The entertainment industry, particularly Disney, come on, Mike, read it right. Star Wars, Marvel, and others has been infected by the woke mind virus for years, which has been overwhelmingly rejected by fans who have no interest in its agenda. Recently, The Acolyte has failed on Disney Plus, while The Marvels, starring Brie Larson and Iman Vellani, has lost hundreds of millions of dollars for Disney. Even long-running shows like Doctor Who are experiencing low ratings, record low ratings at that. Oscars is dropping political BS. Are we sure? Are we positive? They can say it now, but it's Hollywood. They can turn on a dime.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Especially if they get Jimmy Kimmel in there.
Yeah. Now
But
thanks
it looks
to
like it's Conan.
now thanks to Donald Trump, it's learned we're all saved from the Oscars being woke. Are we sure?
Yeah.
X for doubt. X for doubt.
They're going to have one last hissy fit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the cynic, pessimistic side of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
We'll
ready
just
to
have to see
say
when
yes
the show
just yet.
pops up in a few months. So.
With the announcement Friday that the 97th Oscars will be hosted by Conan O'Brien, it's learned because of the Trump victory, all the political BS will be dropped from the show, which, guess what, has also been suffering from record low ratings.
Mm-hmm.
It's also learned that Jimmy Kimmel, who previously hosted the Oscars and who had an epic meltdown following the Trump win, has he moved to Canada yet? Come on, Mike, read it.
No, he's
Will not be
already.
returning to host the Oscars. Adios. Well, I mean, I can't tell you the last time I actually watched the Oscars when they were actually relevant to me in my life.
88.
Well,
or 87.
Sounds about
I can't
right.
remember.
Sounds about right. And
So-
real quick before I continue, I want to say hello to DJ Ronnie G. How you doing, DJ?
Nerd, 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 nerd.
yeah, it depends on what's going on. Like, of course, the Emmys had very high ratings because of things like Fallout and Shogun.
Yeah.
which makes sense. The awards can be nice. It's just the rest of the show. Even when Billy Crystal was on there, it's like, come on, Billy, be funnier. Come on, be funny again. Like you have that feeling that people are holding back because they're worried about offending people. You just get that feeling. They got to stop that.
Well,
Stop worrying about that.
People hold back because some of those people don't want to face the Twitter mob.
No, that's okay. There is no Twitter mob no more. They went to Sky
I was
Blue.
going to say, to help the Twitter mob, they're over on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
We get word about how the big Trump win has changed the Oscars via Deadline, Hollywood's go-to shield site. In its report on Conan O'Brien hosting the Oscars, Deadline noted that O'Brien isn't known for political humor. Just because he's not known for political humor doesn't mean he might spat out a few things.
Yeah, when he was in Ghana with his friend, the guy from Veep, I can't think of the dude's name. Yeah, he said some things and I was like, okay.
And the event will steer clear of politics, especially this year with Donald Trump, not Trump's Mike, back in the White House. Okay, so this is pretty much everything we've read, and it says it is apparent with this choice that the Academy and ABC favor their traditional sole comedian host at the helm, and O'Brien more than fills that bill. Okay. When is Jimmy Kimmel moving to Canada? Who knows? Who cares? He probably won't.
No, he won't.
No, he won't.
They talk a talk, but they know that they're better off here.
A lot of them are going to stay. Some of them will actually move, but yeah.
Especially when he was crying like a little girl, like a little baby. The day after. It's like,
the worst thing that could have happened to late night shows is they became activists. That's the worst thing that could have happened.
Mm-hmm. Well, they went back to being Jack Parr. That's all.
I don't blame you there. You're wrong.
Yeah.
They're rigged anyways. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
They know who's going to win.
Oh, they're rigged like the Jake Paul Tyson fight.
Oh, God.
That was sick from the beginning.
Saw some videos of that and looked like Jake Paul was saying, "Hey, Tyson, hold back a bit, man. Don't you want to get paid?" And I'm like, I have a feeling something like that.
I thought you watched the fight.
Yeah, I did. But they showed some more footage later on where they paused things.
But remember Friday night, Jason and I said, as wrestling fans, we started to notice a few things.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate because it's like, who cares about the paycheck? Just knock that guy out. Come on, Tyson, do it. He's 58. He's 58. I don't care. Do it.
Oh, well, yeah, Mike Tyson's 58 years old. Hey, everybody. He's 58 years old. 58. Yeah, keep repeating that over and over again. But anyways, getting back to this article, it says back in 2017, while hosting the Oscars, Kimmel made jokes at Trump's expense multiple times. Okay. Why are we dropping the ball? There's a certain clip.
The hell you say?
I'm sorry. Let me get it to the screen.
I can't remember if it was Jimmy the one who started it first. It might have been, or Trump. I'm guessing it was Jimmy who started the shit.
Yeah, because he responds back.
Yeah.
That's what he does. It's like someone wants to pick a fight with Trump. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Well, let it go.
Sure
Then
Jimmy started. I don't think Trump said something about Jimmy Kimmel first. So.
No. Jimmy Kimmel was just trying to look big and, well, he got his moment in the sun, so.
Yeah.
Basically, Jimmy Kimmel shot his mouth off like the unintelligent, low IQ dork that he is. Trump returned a fire back, and
boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Well, Phil, and that one, yeah, you're right. Basically, what killed it was Tyson when they had those huge pay-per-view. It costs a lot to watch those pay-per-view. He walks out there, and within 2 punches, the guy's down in the first round. So people are going, I paid how much for that? So yeah, ever since then, boxing was kind of stilted.
Yeah, it's died. It doesn't have the same flair that it did before with some more of the trash talking and all kinds of things. Hey, same with wrestling. I guess a lot of wrestling, of course, that was a big thing too. It's entertainment.
Yep.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, but now it's scripted. They don't let the
Right.
guys go out there and freeform, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
So it says Kimmel tweeted Trump live from the event questioning, "Hey, at real Donald Trump, you up?" Trump was actually at the governor's ball in Washington. Kimmel made jokes about having no tolerance for fake news and loving fake tans. He made a Doctor Strange joke at Ben Carson's expense. Kimmel used Trump speak while talking about Meryl Streep. Kimmel also said at the event, "I want to say thank you to President Trump. I mean, remember last year when it seemed like the Oscars were racist? That's gone thanks to him." Kimmel also made jokes about the country being divided and even joked about Trump having a bowel movement. Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes when we watch your show, Jimmy, that's exactly what we have.
Yeah. Well, the thing is thinking about Trump and going to bed. Trump lives off of 4 hours of sleep a night. 4 hours.
Crazy, dude. It's a machine.
This guy is knocking on 80, and he's still doing that. He was up for 70 some hours leading up to the election out there. No, the one who's napping is Sleepy Joe, Creepy Joe, Pedo Joe, whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
He's in bed by 4 o'clock, and you have to wake him up and hopefully get him awake to get something done. So, Jimmy Kimmel, you're an idiot. That's why you had the 4 o'clock in the morning mean tweets like Kofifi.
Yeah. Jimmy, I don't think a lot of people ever cared, man, that you were on the Man Show or you were on this. Like, you were funny. You actually had energy.
Nobody cared about him being on the Man Show.
No,
nobody
dude,
took the
it
Man
doesn't
Show
matter if you're being
seriously.
creepy
It was
or whatever.
comedy.
It's supposed to be comedy, man. And I understand that it's just, but when you start acting like this and people start pulling up old clips and start saying you're a creep, well, then, you're it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. So you have to own this stuff, man.
I mean, you don't hear Adam Carolla going on his radio
not.
show saying,
Never.
I want to apologize about being one of the hosts of the Man Show and, exploiting women with the juggies and everything like that. You don't hear him saying anything like that.
Oh,
nope.
Oh, hell no. He don't care.
No.
Between the two, he's the most he's the most manly of them all.
You nailed it, Jet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, even people like Sarah Silverman was like funny, and she's had a good career, but it's the same with a lot of them. They get crazy. I mean, even Rosie O'Donnell before seemed to have a good career. She seemed like a pretty cool person, but then what happens? They change, or maybe they were just waiting to change. Who knows?
They were wearing the mask, and now the mask is off.
Right.
Well, and she was one of those that was whipping Jimmy. She was.
Was she? Oh yeah, I haven't looked into that, but
I think those two were together, or was she with Seth MacFarlane?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
She was one of them.
Okay.
No, really, I'm checking now.
Okay.
All right. While you're checking, I'll continue on with the article.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
Trump making the Oscars great again. That's right. I'm going to make the Oscars great. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that you're going to get an award ceremony that's only going to last 12 minutes. That's right. Everybody get on stage, grab your award, go home. Nobody wants to hear you talk. Nobody.
I do.
I know that wasn't my best Trump impression, but hey.
Good. And this just in, gentlemen, he had a relationship with comedian, quote unquote, Silverman. Sarah
I know that. I know that. Yeah.
2009. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. She all those years she was whipping him.
Just like her character in what was the one movie? School of Rock. There we go, School of Rock. I guess she was acting like herself in that good movie.
Yeah,
good movie. Yeah.
Do you know that she was pegging him? Jimmy Kimmel was getting pegged by her through that career.
Well, they dated a few years.
Yeah, well, 2002 to 2009. So how many years of getting pegged?
Yep.
7 years.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, when he farts, it's like a wind tunnel. Okay? Just saying.
It says with Trump back in the White House, Kimmel and all the political BS are out. Did Trump just make the Oscars great again? Probably not, but it might be worth watching for Conan O'Brien. The Oscars will air live on ABC and broadcast outlets worldwide on Sunday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, with the official live red carpet show airing at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific. So it goes on to say, we are thrilled and honored.
Before you go.
My God, who the hell cares?
So it goes on to say, we are thrilled and honored to have the incomparable, whatever. We're happy to have Conan O'Brien host the Oscars this year, said Kramer and Yang. He is the perfect person to help lead our global celebration of the film with his brilliant humor, his love of movies, and his live TV expertise. His remarkable ability to connect with audiences while bringing viewers together to do what the Oscars do best, honor the spectacular films and filmmakers of this year. America demanded it, and now it's happening. Taco Bell's new cheesy chalupa supreme. In other news, I'm hosting the Oscars, said O'Brien.
Did America really demand it?
I don't think they did.
I
Barry.
don't know. It's hard
not
to say.
Not unless they want to be on their toilet for hours.
I mean, that's why I go to Taco John's. I mean, Taco John's the bomb.
Although I will admit, our Taco Bell here isn't bad. But I don't go there frequently, so.
It's a good thing their Taco John's is not closer than they are, or I'd be destroyed. Oof.
Uh-oh. Conan is a preeminent comedic voice whose decades-long success is marked by his distinctive humor and perspective, said Craig Erwick. Excuse me. Haven't done that in a while. President Disney Television Group. He joins an iconic roster of comedy greats who have served in this role, and we're so lucky to have him center stage for the Oscars. Conan has all the qualities of a great Oscars host. He is incredibly witty, charismatic, and funny, and has proven himself to be a master of live event television, said Oscars executive producer Raj Kapoor and Katie Woolen.
So they both said that at the same time, like they're drooling.
Apparently they're part of the Borg collective. They came out of the alcove for a few minutes, and they said, "We are the Borg, and we approve of Conan O'Brien. Watch the Oscars. Resistance is futile." We are so looking forward to working with him to deliver a fresh, exciting, and celebratory show for Hollywood's biggest night. And that's the article.
Okay, let's sum it up with this.
How many of you think the opinions of actors should be valued as much as, well, say, doctors, engineers, or a courageous congressman?
Right here. Yeah, right on.
Well, you're wrong. Actors are self-centered punks.
Many of them are. I agree.
Yeah.
I do think they got Trump coming back does have them rattled.
Oh yeah, probably. I would. Yeah, it does. It has to. I mean, look at how crazy a lot of them.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I mean, ever since election night, we've seen freak out after freak out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, okay. Nobody else before this year has ever freaked out this bad when the opposition won the election.
Nope.
Nobody.
No,
No.
not
Yeah.
that.
Yet every day there's seems to be a new video up where somebody's freaking out. It's like, okay, he's elected
Well,
president. He was
we did have
president for 4 years before, so we have experience. Calm down, get a hold of yourself, and go on with your life.
we did have a foretaste of the freak out to come back in 2016 because they were really freaking out back then. But now they dialed it up beyond 11. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and they're ravaging anybody. I mean, they've gone so overboard that they're attacking people just for supporting. And well, I hate to say this, but it's true. They want to unalive the opposition people, including average
Yeah,
people. You see it out there. It's like we
you
want.
see it out there in the videos. You see it out there in posts where people have written it, and it's like I'm seeing a lot of red flags, and these people
Mhm.
they need to get some serious counseling.
They need a visit from the feds. That's what they need. But we know how that is. Yeah, they were on the list, a watch list. Of course, that's after the event. It's like, okay, well,
Well,
good job,
we're
FBI. But you're more than happy to go in there and take out squirrels and
It's
And
gonna be
raccoons.
it's going to be very interesting what happens when the Epstein list will actually be officially out there and the P Diddy list and I
oh
mean
my word.
that's the plan. I mean I can imagine what that shit's going to be like.
Well, you're going to
And
hear a lot of stars going.
I don't know who any of those people are.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Mhm. And it's good to see Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank, who was our
Hey,
guest
Lester.
last Wednesday. He
Yeah.
says maybe indirectly, if it means we'll get genuine diversity. So so far it's been fake diversity.
You're right.
Maybe, but we've got to have a holding pattern. We got to basically hold our breath because, I mean, with the way everything's going on in the world right now, who knows what's going to happen between now and January 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows.
Nope.
At least none of us.
No.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a psychic.
No.
No. I'm not Nostradamus.
Mhm.
I'm sure Alan Lichman can tell us though. He seems to predict the future. Oh wait.
Oh, wait. Wait. Cash.
Oh man. So funny.
You do realize he predicted Kamala to win this year's election, and he got that
I know,
wrong.
that's why I'm being funny.
But she won in an alternate universe, though.
That's right.
Come on,
Exactly.
keep up with her. Yeah, so she did.
Yeah,
She was right.
alternate universe. She was on Krypton.
It's another reason why I don't believe the quote unquote experts.
No.
Whenever
They can get things wrong too. Even
Yeah.
if they predict some things, they can still get things wrong.
Well, yeah, everybody can.
I mean, even in sports, you have the talking heads in sports that say, "Oh, this team's gonna be a powerhouse come the regular season," and then they do nothing. It's like,
yep.
Where was this powerhouse you were speaking of during the off season?
Yep. Yeah, because that happens. Yeah, and he makes a dick joke, the guys laugh, and then he makes a boob joke, and the women get upset. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you talk about my boobies? My big, luscious boobies. The ones I have in the strip, you can basically see almost everything. Look, there's even a little bit of areola, but how dare you talk about my boobies?
How dare you talk about the ones that the doctor put me under anesthesia and gave me these things too?
You can hardly see the surgery scars.
Meanwhile, they're self-evident. It's like, whoa, under the knife recently, huh?
look at my boobs. Only Cash can do that.
I'm thinking about Robin Williams joke
Hello!
about fake boobs. Fake boobs are like Yahtzees. They're like, oh, I gotta pull that up real quick. I know I'm gonna have to pause it, but I gotta pull that up now that I'm thinking about it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Mike is frisky.
Maybe
but,
I
know,
am a little frisky tonight, Baron. Maybe I am.
Nothing
Maybe
wrong
I
with
am,
that.
Baron. Maybe I
Yeah,
am.
nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong with that.
Uh,
But I think what we're seeing is what I have been kind of saying. You know, there's going to be something that sends shockwaves to Hollywood, and Trump is that. There's a lot of people scared right now, especially if certain lists do get released. But it also kind of tells them where the audience is, and they don't like it. It means that they failed.
Mhm.
And already we're starting to hear some studios, you know, kind of go, okay, well, maybe we're going to change our movies because of this. Some are still holding their grounds. I guess we're going to have to sit back and see until the 20th of January to see what fully happens here when the
yes.
reality really does strike.
That's right.
And he does his first day, and he's going to have a very, very, his hand's going to be cramping a lot. Let's just put it that way, because he's going to be signing his name like mad on things.
Yes.
So,
No, as a responsible streamer, I do want to say the following content may not be appropriate for younger viewers. So if you have a
Oh.
younger viewer listening in,
Oh, no.
cover their ears or tell them to leave the room for a few minutes. So here we go. Sorry. I still have his routines. Gosh, I miss him.
and people probably don't even know who Kilroy was.
Nope.
Kind of like Star Trek Insurrection.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's good to see Anonymous. Oh dear, I can't hear this. My poor ears, I feel corrupted. We did it, guys. We did it. We corrupted Anonymous.
Yeah, again. He's corrupted every day.
He was great.
Yeah. I mean, Robin Williams starts, and it's this.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Boy, we don't have comedians like that anymore. We really
Not
don't.
many. We did have that
No.
roast comic, though, who wasn't going to apologize for anything. We need more people like that, dude.
Right.
That guy is,
Yeah, just like Don Rickles.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows what Don Rickles is about. If you got offended, you're a moron.
Hockey
You're a
puck,
hockey
of course
player.
I do.
Yep.
That's right.
But we're not done talking about President-elect Donald Trump tonight.
Ooh.
Let me go ahead and bring up this article. It is from Fox News, and it does tie in, no pun intended, to our previous article in a certain way. But it says Family Ties star Justine Bateman says Trump's election lifted suffocating cloud on free speech. There is room for all opinions. There is room for all thoughts, Bateman says. Depends on who you ask, Justine. Because there are still those who will flee the blue sky because they feel like they're being oppressed over on X.
Yep. All those bullies on the red side.
Yeah. So this was posted on the 16th. And let's see, who's the byline? Joseph Wolfshawn. And it says, it's an exclusive. Author and filmmaker Justine Bateman expressed optimism for the country following President-elect Donald Trump's historic victory, saying it felt like a cloud had been lifted. I feel good. I feel great. I feel wonderful. Okay, she didn't say that, but in fact, Bateman told Fox News Digital in an interview, I feel like was this kind of suffocating cloud that was kind of over us. Regular people who had questions about decisions that were being made were threatened subtly and obviously into silence, and I feel like that's been broken. That sort of suppression has been kind of broken. Bateman, best known for playing Mallory Keaton on the 1980s sitcom Family Ties, recently went viral for referring to the last 4 years as being a very un American period for free expression and that only permitted positions were accepted by the powers that be. My belief is that everyone should be free to live their life exactly how they want to live. I agree with that, but not impeding on somebody else's ability to also live their life as freely as they want to live it, Bateman told Fox News Digital. So, what was un American about the last 4 years or longer is that one could not even ask a question about something. One could not even engage in a debate about things like trans women playing in sports or about trans women being in women's locker rooms or bathrooms or prisons, and to not allow the public to freely engage about the benefits and dangers of these types of decisions. I think that is un American. Well, you need to have proper discourse on topics like this. That's what we used to do. You don't like something, you discuss it. You give your reasons, the other person gives their reasons. Whether you agree at the end, well, that's up to you. Okay, so let's see. The idea that no, you subscribe to what we've said and shut your mouth, or we'll destroy your career, or we will destroy you socially. She added, "Yeah, we've seen that happening,
Oh yeah.
and that's not right. I don't care which side does it. Yeah, it is that
Oh,
way. Help! Help! I'm being repressed."
really? Just a second here, guys. Come on. I mean, it's like amateur hour.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
There.
Well, we have had quite a few watch parties, and I mean, the guy speaking is the guy that's responsible for those watch parties. So I can only get mad at myself, but I'm not
Right.
because we had fun.
Did we though? Did we?
I know some people did, maybe not everybody.
And right now, Cash is.
That's right. I said, I ain't giving you no $3.50, you goddamn Loch Ness monster. Get your own goddamn money.
I gave him a.
Goes on to say Bateman doesn't subscribe herself to any political party, but she found the team surrounding, excuse me, Trump very interesting. Namely, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and what he'll do with health and environmental issues in the forthcoming administration, and Elon Musk's effort to make the government more efficient. That's a task in its own right. She said their strong position on free speech won her over. I'm just one person. This is just my experience, and if someone has a different experience, that is also valid. And she's got a point. Everybody has different life experiences. We all come from different aspects of life, different points of view. There's room for all experiences. There's room for all opinions. There's room for all thoughts. That's my point, Bateman said. And it is the American way. And we Americans are going to preserve that. It's the American way to allow everybody to express themselves. But like I said, you cannot I believe they might have meant infringe. I don't know. Infringe upon
Probably.
somebody else's ability to also freely express themselves. No, you shouldn't, but it's happened. It's happened, and it's happened on both sides. The economy was also a motivating issue for Bateman at the ballot box. The economy has gone out of control, she said. I mean, the amount of money we printed, anybody who's ever even sat in the first week of an Econ 101 class learns the lesson of Venezuela. I'm just baffled as to how a collection of adults would start printing the volume of money that was printed and think that there wasn't going to be any issue with that. Well, to some people, money grows on trees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In addition to filmmaking, Bateman leads the Credo 23 Council, a group of industry professionals combating Hollywood's growing reliance on artificial intelligence. The Credo 23 Council will be hosting its first film festival in the spring featuring films that use zero generative AI. All right, so
Mhm.
she's trying to preserve the art of actual people doing these movies, filming the movies, instead of it being AI, which we see a lot. And you look at
Mhm.
some videos that you see posted on YouTube, posted on social media, and you really have to look at it hard to try to see if you can tell whether it's an actual video in some cases or if it's done by AI. Now, I don't know how
Mhm.
many people have seen the Star Wars related one where, you know, Luke, Leia, Obi-Wan, and Yoda are basically from the Deep South. I mean, you could tell that's AI.
Mhm.
But I'm talking about videos where it's done so well where you have to look at it. You know what I find myself doing? Looking at the eyes to see if
Mhm.
they react to any light.
Mhm. That's people talk about the hands being difficult, but the most important thing is the eyes because the eyes are the window to the soul. And if
Hmm.
what you have doesn't have a soul, then it's it's not going to react. You're not going to get that reaction when you look
No.
at it. You're not going to. You kind of see something that's a little dead inside, and you're right. It is. It is because it's fake.
Hmm. So, what do you think about Justine Bateman's comments?
Well, see, this is a part of the Barron was right type kind of thing. Because what was one of the problems that Hollywood has been having? It is exactly what she's saying. No freedom of speech. On the contrary, you have to be um, part of our little bubble, or else. And only the powerful ones, are the ones that are strong in their careers, don't have that fear. Voight, Selleck, even Chris Pratt. But others out there that let it out there. I mean, look at how they were treating Zachary Levy. Is it
Hmm.
Levy? Yeah, look how they
Yeah.
were attacking him because he went out there and he let it said it right down the line. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Republican, but and whether people like it or not, this is a cold hard truth. The First Amendment is being attacked, but it's not being attacked by people like Trump or us. You've heard it from us many times how much we respect when we love free speech. Of course, someone
Hmm.
said, "Oh, you mean the hate speech too?" Yeah, even the hate speech. You got to have it out there. Uh, you know, you that way you get to know who is who.
Yeah.
If they're hiding it, how do you know what they are? If they're a full out ist, or they like to fantasize about a little Austrian corporal with a funny mustache, let it be. Let them go out
Yeah. Because
and
I,
say,
I was going to say, let those people remove that cloak. At least you know
Yeah.
who the devil is.
Right, and if you keep them hiding in that cloak, you're actually doing more harm to yourself because people start thinking, why are they working so hard to silence this person? Obviously, there's something that they know that they don't want let out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that. You want to have people hear them exactly what they're saying. So yes, even the hate speech, even the stuff that's repugnant, even more so. I want to have masks taken off, and First Amendment does that, and it also has that free flow of thoughts and ideas. If you stifle them and you only get into one idea, guess what? That's fascism. And people like Kamala Harris, John Kerry, all the others have been made out there that the biggest threat there is not the Second Amendment, but the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you listen to the media people, oh my God, this is horrible because they're listening to people other than us. They can only listen to us because these people don't know anything. They're stupid. They never went to journalism school. Well, excuse me, no. Citizen journalists have always been out there.
I was
And
gonna
we
say,
have
you
eyes.
don't have to go to journalism school to know when something's not right.
Right. These people seem to have a little bit more grasp of ethics than you in the media are. And so if you're in the media, the fourth estate, sitting back saying about how horrible the First Amendment is, guess what? You're putting a noose around your own neck. You useful idiot.
Words for thee, not for me.
Right. If you want YouTube or Rumble or X or, well, I hesitate to say this one, Blue Sky, but I mean, if you want them to thrive, you have the free
or
speech.
even Twitch. Yeah,
Yeah, Twitch.
let people, have the freedom of expression.
Right.
You can
Right.
disagree with them. Nobody's telling you can't disagree with them.
You can have rules, but they need to be clear. This whole thing about what is considered hate speech, if it's a gaming group, if it's something online, if whatever, it's just like that's why you have a block button. That's why you have other things you don't have to listen to the person, but that's not enough for them. This hate speech is causing this and that and causing emotions to run high and all this other crap. And all it is just more extremism to say we have to take your speech away because how dare you? You made jokes. You're going to get punished. You did this, even though you're not threatening violence or anything, but they can't take it. I mean, I've seen even in the past they said, oh well, you can blame a lot of the Jewish people for what's been going on in Hollywood and stuff, and yeah, those are ignorant things to say, but still, it's like you can ignore it. You can also just say, oh, they're being stupid, they're being ignorant, but no, they want everything to change. How dare you? This is the way things are now. We're going to start taking your speech away. And people before, like John Kerry, he never talked like this, at least not I remember. But then after a while, it's like they seem to get a bigger platform and then they start opening up their mouth. Same with Hillary. Anybody who does it, if it's the right or the left. We had people like Lieberman in the past after the Columbine situation. It's like, we've got to demonize thing like Doom and do this. The same thing they've done with Grand Theft Auto and other stuff. They over the years, you get these Congress people and they're like, yes, we have to do something about this. This is killing our kids. They're playing these games. They're getting these weird ideas, blah, 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 all this shit. It's just overblown. It's just extremism.
If you've got Senator Warren going after Steam.
Right. Yes, Warner.
Yeah.
I don't know that senator, so I've never heard of
I said Warren. I meant Warner. At least you knew what I meant.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's a nut too. But I mean, these things do not help the situation. But there are people I really believe that want to take your First Amendment rights away. Speech for this, not for me. And once again, if you're not actually promoting violence or causing violence, then the speech should be fine if you're making jokes or whatever at people, but they can't take criticism, just like a lot of Hollywood can't take criticism from people. Even when they say, hey, this is what you can fix, it's like, how dare you? I'm in the industry, you're not. I have this degree. Like, some people do act like that, obviously. It's like,
Well,
whatever.
we've been hearing it ever since the election. You know, the
Yes.
reason why Trump won is because it's the uneducated voters.
Right. Which college people voted for Trump too. I know, shocking, but they did.
The media, CNN in particular, is saying it's because it's, the ones without a college degree. Yet you read comments of people who say they have a college degree. They have more than one.
Yeah.
And even they voted for Trump because they had their reasons. Just
Yes.
like the people who voted for Kamala had their reasons for voting for her.
They had their reasons. And a lot of the reasons is that she was a woman and they want to see the first woman president, and that's a lot of their reason. You're like, or abortion to some people, the abortion issue. It's but a lot of people, unfortunately, they, especially on the left, not everyone, but many of them, it seems, they don't want to talk about this stuff because they can't have a reasonable conversation with people that disagree with them about certain things, and so they would rather just shun you, block you, whatever. And it's crazy, but if that's how they want to act, well, more power to them, I guess.
Well, the issue I see, and this is just based on social media posts, whether it's text or whether it's a video, is there are folks that don't know how to have a conversation with someone else without yelling and screaming.
No, they can't.
Instead of talking like we are right now, they're yelling and screaming.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but when someone starts yelling and screaming, I usually tune them out.
Yeah, that's why people who are on Fox News, Newsmax, other things, conservative radio, they can't talk to. They wouldn't have those people on, maybe some of them, but they wouldn't have those people on MSNBC and CNN. That's why it's a ratings thing. Why is Fox doing better than CNN and MSNBC? Well, because they have people on there that make sense. Doesn't mean all of them do, but they have people still want to listen. I know, hate to say it, people who have common sense. People that it says, okay, and then all the lies from a lot of the media. I mean, we can go down the list of ABC World News, not just about Trump. However, if you like him or don't like him, but they have been, I would say, dividing people for definitely a number of years now. From the hit pieces that we even see that from IGN. And of course, PBS NewsHour had no problem putting out hit pieces. They don't apologize for that. And then when they get backlash, they go, oh, I can't believe people are attacking me. I'm being bullied. Yet they're the ones who started.
Exactly. And I want to get to this comment from Lester real quick, where he says, speak your mind, speak your piece. If it offends me, I'll let you know. I won't prevent your right from saying it.
Exactly.
No, I'd rather someone just come out and say it. It's like, what are you hiding? What are you holding back? Come out and say it.
I mean, it comes down to this point. If you honestly think that people should be put in jail or in a camp for re-education because they said something that hurt your feelings,
right,
you're the problem. And they're having that right now in England. Someone says they are going after and locking people away, and giving them more punishment than those that are actually causing physical harm to people over there. Which is not right. If you are for that, well, go away. Go away. Because you are what you blamed us for being.
Exactly.
You are the ones, you're the jackbooted ones. If you truly think that, you're not an American. Plain and simple. You're not American.
I mean, if you're going, this is just my own thought on this. If you're going around posting a video or posting in general saying, well, because you voted this way, I want nothing to do with you anymore, you're not my friend, then maybe there wasn't much of a friendship to begin with if you're just so willing to throw it away so quickly
Yeah,
because somebody voted opposite of you.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just simple as that. Uh, you know, one thing is offense. One, it does build you a little bit if you get offended. It's
Mhm.
one of those things to help you uh, realize that this world isn't, that there's all sorts of different people out there. There's crude people, there's modest people, there's honest people, there's damn liars out there. But the one thing you have that's great about the First Amendment is you have the right to be offended. Baron, what are you saying? Simple. Do you think those Jews in the ghettos had a right to be offended as they were being abused by the National Socialists? Do you think they had a right to be offended as they were being put into cattle cars? Do you think they had a right to be offended as they got put into the camps? They had no right to be offended. None. It was my way or the highway. Well,
Mhm.
it's my way. You don't get a choice on anything,
You don't get a say in any of this.
right? Do you think the Poles that had that done to them, do you think they had a right to be offended? No. What about the communists? Did they have a say? No. They didn't have a right to be offended either. Be proud of the fact that you have the right to be offended. That's another breath of freedom. And while you're at it, sit back and start wondering, why am I offended? This is as much of a learning experience as anything else. You get to study yourself a little bit more. Why is it I'm offended? Is it just or isn't it? I'm not saying being offended isn't just, but it gives you a chance not to be knee jerk about it. Think
Mhm.
about it. Reflect upon it. Is this something I really should be offended about? And then if you decide yes, what are you going to do about it? If
What are
you're
you going to
not,
do to change it? What
yeah,
what kind of discourse are you going to have with somebody to try to change it?
right. Exactly. This is called communion, communicating. That's why you have the dinner table. That's why it's called the Holy Communion. And at the table, you have a family communion. It's a communal setting where you communicate. These are very important words. That's
Mhm.
why it's very important for everyone to sit at the table and talk about anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the three of us can remember because we're that age. Coming home and having dinner with our family, and your mom, your dad, or your aunt, your uncle, whoever you were living with would ask you, "So, how are things going? How are things going at school?" Or say you did something at school and you're thinking, "Oh, mom and dad won't know," and then the principal calls,
Mm-hmm.
and you have that talk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or you feel like you're sick that day, and your dad comes in your room and says, "Hey, are you sure you're sick?" Oh crap! Guess I'm not sick enough.
Get dressed,
Yep.
grab your backpack, and go
Mhm.
into school.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, see, when you take a look at the First Amendment, is simple but yet complicated. It's simple because we have this gateway to communication. It's difficult, though, is how you proceed with that communication. How do you present yourself? Will you keep yourself cool? Will you be knee jerk? Being knee jerk is not necessarily the best thing.
No.
It destroys more often than builds.
And the thing is, I don't think there's one person out there that can say they've never had a knee jerk reactions to something that somebody has said that's offended them.
Well, yeah, we all have. I'm not sitting here on top of a rock saying, look how perfect I am. It's called learning from the experience, right? And it starts giving you a new perspective of how to interact with people. That's why I try very little now to have a knee-jerk reaction. I'm pretty close to not having knee-jerk reactions now. But I have had them.
Yeah.
And most of the time they were foolish. I was an idiot. I'm talking from experience. I'm not being a hypocrite.
I've had people say disparaging things to me and about me. And I've told myself, calm down. This is exactly what they want. They want you to fly off the handle.
And Cash and I have said, we're sorry.
Help, help, he's feeling repressed.
Well, and see, that's just it. You hear the banter between people, and it's like, oh my God, why aren't they getting offended? Well, they're friends. They know each other.
Mhm.
But
Well,
that does
it
not
just-
give you instant end to join in like that when you don't really know who those people are. It's like,
Well,
hell are you doing?
you got parents who are not teaching their kids to stand up for themselves. They just tell them, oh, you're so special. You're the greatest in the world. And that's always what they hear. So then you get these professors in there, and unfortunately teachers, to some of them, that they say things and they want to coddle you and this and that. And that's not going to ever help you in life. It's been shown many times.
Well, it's what I said the other week about self-esteem.
Yep.
And, another thing, how many of us had a teacher, going through school that actually pushed us? They weren't pushing us to be mean. They were pushing us to get the best out of us.
Yes.
Because they saw that potential. I had a math teacher who saw the potential in me. And I hate math. I really do. But he saw potential and he pushed me. And I'm grateful for it.
Yeah. There is still teachers out there that actually do care. I don't know how many, but there are at least some. I'm sure of that.
And this was back in junior high, where he saw that I was struggling with some of the work, but he took the time to sit me aside and go over it with me. And even a few times after school, I stayed after school so he can help me out with it, because I told him why I wasn't understanding it completely. And he took time out of his day where he could have been grading papers to help me out. And like I said, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. That's just it. You need to be broken down sometimes to be built up.
That's right.
You do. Because sometimes that's the thing that knocks common sense in your noggin and makes you think. Hopefully that's the case. I mean, you have two reactions to it. Oh, poor me. Or, I've been a bit of a jackass, wasn't I?
Yeah, it's very easy to be a victim, get upset about something, say, blah, blah, you feel this way, whatever. It can happen to anybody. But then you have to realize, well, I'm not being a victim. I'm just upset about things. So I need to relax. But it's hard for a lot of people to relax, unfortunately. They can't handle a lot of things, and they spend way too much time on social media. I think certain people can handle it, but not everybody. It's too much.
And I can remember a neighbor of ours, her son, who was also my friend, he ended up, when he went to the junior high, getting that same math teacher. And I said, listen, I'm not going to give his name. I'll just call him Mr. T. I'll say, Mr. T is a good teacher. He will push you, but he's pushing you for the better. He wants to get the best out of each and every one of his students.
Mhm.
He's not doing it to be mean. He's doing it because he sees potential.
What I think a lot of it comes down to, if I would love to sit in a room with a lot of these people and stuff and say, have you done any hard work ever in your life? Or do you feel like you've done something that you feel is hard work that you're very proud of? And I think what it also comes down to, if more people in society did any kind of hard work, I think then they would start appreciating things more in their life. That's just my guess. But,
Yeah.
Well, you saw what happened with the barista or whatever the hell they call those people at the Starbucks when they were having to work almost an 8-hour day. They broke down and cried and couldn't handle it. And
So,
others, it's like,
yeah.
This is just an 8-hour. People put 8 hours every day, sometimes 10.
Yeah.
Some people work 12, 15, 16
Yes.
hours a day,
Yes, they
Mhm.
do.
if not more.
Yep. The fact that we still, and I blame government, I blame people on TV, I blame whatever. I mean, we need more messages of people saying, besides the other messages about mental health and so on, and there are more messages that I think there needs to be even more of that. But I feel we need more messages, even on TV, even on streaming, whatever. Hard work is important.
Yes.
Don't
And
take it
welcome
for
back
granted.
to. No, you can't. You can't take any kind of hard work for granted. You got to learn from it. You got to grow from it. And hopefully it makes you the better person that you want to be.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But that's entirely up to you.
That's
You
right.
determine your path.
Mhm.
Not Cash, not Baron, not myself, not anybody in the chat. It's you. So
Yes.
anything else you guys want to say about what we've discussed with Donald Trump coming back into office, what Justine Bateman said, or do you want to go to the weekend box office?
Well, just one last thing is, again, this is part of that 5-year thing. And I said we don't know where it's going to be, how it's going to happen, but it's just going to be snap. There it is. In some ways, this is that snap. Just by looking at the reaction of everybody, it's causing so much turmoil. This could hopefully be the change that we need
Yeah,
to
definitely.
bring us better entertainment and more freedom of speech. I mean, Justine Bateman is all excited about it. And as she said in the article or whatever, she's not even aligned politically with anybody. She's an independent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the thing is that she sat down and she looked and she
Yeah.
studied, and points for that. That's more than most people do. They just watch a damn commercial and go, I'm going that way.
Yes.
But see, that's what you have to do. You have to sit down. You have to look at everything, and go through it deeply, not just to the surface. But you got to comb through it.
Mhm.
Whether you're one party or another or an independent, you've got to do that. And I'm going to bring this up too because Tim's mentioned it too. What we really need is politicians who actually care about our homeless veterans.
Yes.
The men and women who have fought and protected this country.
We need the VA fix. We need certain things. Yes. We need to care definitely more about our homeless vets.
We need to take care of the people that have destructions put to them. Not $700 to people in Hawaii per household, and then a loan of $750 that you have to apply for and might not get it, like the people in North Carolina and all the other places that got hit with Helene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the fire in
my, how
in Maui,
generous.
if I remember. Yeah.
So, I mean,
And Trump Vance 2036. Are you talking about Baron Trump Anonymous?
Yeah,
I say then it'd be Vance Trump, and then then Barron can.
Oh my gosh!
Well, I mean, you got
know how people would explain. Hey guys, guess what? Guess who's running for president? Barron Trump. I'm not saying anything isn't possible, but
at 2036, I think he's still too young. He has to be 35
I
for
think
that.
you're right. Yeah,
I know.
But you still got Don Jr. and you got Eric. So and Don Jr. is pretty feisty. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's going to be a fight, but this is what
Eric
a
is
lot
married
of
to that hot
America.
one.
This is what a lot of the American people wanted, and they know that.
I'm sorry, but that there, Barrett, that's like people saying they're going to vote for Kamala because she's a woman. Well, here's Barron. I'm voting for Donald Trump Jr. because his wife is hot. I mean, come on, Barron.
Eric Trump.
I'm sorry, Eric. But still, there's got to be more to any political candidate than,
I thought it's just a Futurama. I thought Barron would vote for the person who's going to give him the best snooze.
Well, remember, Eric Trump is still with Laura Trump, who's working, working with Donald. So, I mean, right there, hot and smart and feisty. And
he just might anonymous.
Why just download it? Why don't they just do an operation?
That's right. Just do an operation.
Oh, wait. Have you ever seen RoboCop 2? Come on, Barron. You don't want it to turn into a Kane situation.
No. No, we wouldn't want that.
Barron can run in 2044.
Yep. So what we do is you got Don Jr. and then you got Eric and then you got Barron. There we go. But really, I think Vance, as a vice president, should have a chance at it. So it'd be like Vance Trump, and as long as it's Trump.
I think
Trump,
a kangaroo should run for president next time. An actual kangaroo.
As long as that kangaroo is born in America. Remember, they're Australian.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I've got playing that game. I want to see the birth certificate. Damn it!
I know. Me too.
Now, imagine if Baron Orman-Tagg ran for president.
Oh my God!
What would be your campaign slogan?
Boobies.
Why? Yeah, boobies. Why not the worst? This time, why not the worst? Would probably be my campaign slogan.
It's just Baron's motto: boobies.
Boobies. And President-elect Baron Tagg is coming up on the stage. I almost said Baron Trump. Oh, God. Too many Barons. Is coming up the stage. He's ready for his acceptance speech right now for the victory. Boobies! Booby. Baby, booby. Bouncy boobies. Boobs.
The reporters will say, "Do you have anything?"
Meanwhile,
no.
His campaign manager, Cash Money, is going, "That wasn't in the speech, Baron."
Yes, that's true. Yeah, Baron, you might want to say more. And he goes,
Booties. 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 Boobies and booties. Fix eyes, save lives. Size. Yeah.
He'll put up a bunch of anime pictures. Women with
I wouldn't go anime pictures.
Oh, okay.
I'm not Jace.
Oh, okay. Because as you
give
know,
me a little credit.
Thighs save lives. So that's what they say.
There's a lot of nice signs out there. I tell you what,
And Anonymous, in reference to the kangaroo, says the kangaroo is an anchor baby from the zoo. And let's see what Tim says. Me as president, my platform. You think the last guy nearly ruined this place? Wait until I'm done with it. Yeah.
No, you should end it with "hold my beer."
No.
Tim takes the oath of office, and I'm saying this in fun, Tim. And right as he gets up to the podium, to the mic, he whips out a can of beer, opens it up, and says, "Yeah, it's party time, folks."
Who wants an orgy?
You got him.
Who wants an orgy? Let's the orgy start. Woo! spraying beer all over the people. Yep, that's my motto. 2 breasts, 2 thighs.
Anonymous. I'll take 2 breasts, 2 thighs, and some chicken.
Baron would also, part of his campaign would be like, we're bringing back Hello Nurse.
Oh, yeah.
Finds that clip.
That is the new... Yeah,
Animaniacs.
instead of E pluribus unum, it'll be Hello Nurse. That's going to be on all the seals.
There you go, Tim. There you go. My fellow
Excuse me?
Americans, excuse me while I whip this out.
Oh, man.
Do you still have the soundbite of the can opening, Baron?
The what one?
The soundbite of the can opening.
No, I never had one.
I thought you
When
did.
you heard a can... that was me actually opening a can.
Here, I thought it was a soundbite. Shows how much I know.
Oh, no. It was more than a soundbite. It was heaven. We got silly people.
Yes.
But before we head over to Rumble, we are going to take a look at the weekend box office real quick. And this is for this past weekend. And Red One with The Rock made, excuse me, 32.1 million.
Oh, boy.
That's not a lot. And I thought I heard that this movie has a budget of either 200 or 300 million. Let me look it up.
250 million.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Burn.
Oh, that hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah. Venom The Last Dance made 7.3. And it has a total of 437 million worldwide. I guess that's respectable.
Pretty good. Yeah.
But in 3 weeks, yeah. But it's kind of a big drop for being in, third week,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, we have Baron's favorite movie here, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
I've been seeing ads
million.
about that. Yeah.
I'd seen ads too, but
it looks like a Hallmark type movie.
Yeah. Great. It's going to last 24 hours, if not more. Hey, is this a new movie? No, it's the same one I was watching 7 days ago.
A Christmas Story, yeah.
And we have Heretic. I believe that's the one. Maybe it's not the one with Hugh Grant. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just know that there was some new horror movie coming out with Hugh Grant, and then The Wild Robot's still making money.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard that's a crit. That's a good movie.
Yeah, 7 weeks.
Yeah,
it's chugging along.
I like to call that Wally in the forest. That's it, Wally in the forest.
Yeah.
I call it the robotic Ferngully. Did Baron call my name? I was cleaning my DVR. No, I don't recall hearing Baron call your name unless he called in binary.
Yes.
1001001.
He wanted to know how you feel about Snoo Snooze, DJ.
I love Snoo Snoo. And you do too.
Then Smile 2 made 2.9 million. It has a total of 65 million. Conclave made 2.8 million for a total of 26 million. This is its total gross. Hello, love
Some
again.
good acting in that movie, but it got weird.
2.3. A real pain. I think that's what the three of us call the show every time we start it. A real pain.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, folks. I kid.
He just says it. He just says it about Cash and I, and rightly so.
Beetlejuice. It's almost made 300 million. I don't know what its budget was, but
I think it's done pretty well.
I mean, it's made 451 million in total worldwide, so no complaints.
They said the budget was 99 million, so
Okay, it's made its money back, even with marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's been a success. I don't think it's been a massive success, but a success.
Well, you can't mock it. It's been a success. I mean, considering the original came out in '88, and now you're getting the sequel.
Yeah,
and it's made this much money. And Phil says, what are you trying to say, Phil?
I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know.
No idea.
Maybe no genius, good genius with.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, the one is a GNU.
I think what happened is that Phil is one of the main reasons why a lot of this madness in our society has happened. I think that's what's going on. I think he caused a lot of the madness happenings.
I'm Gary GNU. Gary GNU with the news. You had to watch Great Space Coaster to get that.
That's what I'm asking you. What's a canoe? Is that a new version of a canoe?
No, actually, it's properly pronounced canoe, but people go GNU because it's like calling a euro a gyro. Gary GNU. You don't know who Gary GNU is, man?
No. It's like our good friend Jerry from Pop Culture Minefield. Gary.
Yeah. Gary.
Gary.
Some people call him that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well, I do. I go, Gary. Because of his sister. His Jewish sister. In New York.
Knew if I knew. If you don't know who Gary GNU, shame on you. Sorry, Phil, I don't. I don't know who every celebrity out there is. Even I'll get that look like who?
Great Space Coaster, man.
Phil's losing his mind again. It's okay. It's all right.
It's a great space coaster. I'm on board. Oh,
yeah, I'm familiar with the theme song, but doesn't mean I actually watched it.
Then you missed something. No, Goga News is good news with Gary GNU.
Who knew?
I got to know the guy.
I saw that from Anonymous. Thank you, Phil. Thank you for sending me the information. Appreciate it.
Oh,
I will give myself an education.
Education.
The bad thing is that the show is being. I think they are trying to preserve the show, but they can't release the show because of copyrights of cartoons they showed on there and the music that they had on there. They even had one with Mark Hamill on there, and he was talking stuff. And so sometimes big stars would show up and be part of the show. I got to know actually the one guy who was involved with. Not involved. He was the mastermind behind the Great Space Coaster, and had some nice conversations with him. I need to try to find a way to get a hold of him again. But running into him was it's like, oh my God, I didn't know who the guy was, but at first, and people started telling me who he was.
Phil just likes to bring up a lot of random shit.
Mm-hmm.
We all do that though, Cash.
Not as much as Phil though. He takes it to a new level.
Yeah. Jim Martin is the guy's name, by the way. Who's him and Kermit Love were the creators of the show, and they were involved with Sesame Street also. But he went on to do this, and I found out who he was when he bought some stuff from me because I was doing a little side hustle at the time, and we went to drop it off, and that's when I found out who he really was. I got to know him by having a nice conversation. But boom, it was absolutely wow. Sunbow Production was involved with it, by the way. So,
I know who Sunbow is.
Yeah, I figured you would. Yeah. So it's a shame that I think there might be on YouTube. There might be something floating around because in the day there was I think there were like 2 VHSs that were released back when this stuff was some big problems, and I think they brought it onto the Tubeverse and maybe even the Rumbleverse. I don't know, but
could be.
Yeah. It was a great show. It was a great show. I was hooked on it. The show.
And you're wrong. Even says here the future of entertainment is out of Hollywood's hands. There are indie productions all over the place, ready to shine. Yeah.
The first show, according to the AI overview, I think they got some good information here. 81 to 86. Wow.
Yep. 5 seasons, 250 episodes.
Yeah, I know the Banana Splits.
Other characters on the show included Baxter the Clown, Knock Knock, Woody Woodpecker, yep, Edison the Elephant.
Yeah, Baxter was kind of the guy who drove the Space Coaster. And I believe it was Ray Steffens. He went on to do the work with the Village People.
Interesting.
Yeah, he worked with as a lead singer in the Village People when it toured England. So unfortunately, he's not with us. He passed away in 1990 at the age of 35.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was young when he passed away.
Wow, let's see. I'm looking at. Okay, they've got some archive stuff, of course.
Yeah.
They got a lot of Gary Gnu stuff actually on YouTube. Wow.
Yeah, he was. I think he was the most popular on there. And of course, he'd say, roll the film, and then the film will roll by. He goes, "I said roll the film, not bowl the film." And like I said, Jim Martin was the voice for Gary Gnu.
Yeah. Well, you learn something new every day.
Exactly.
I certainly did.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I would watch it as much as possible. Okay,
now,
Gary,
before we leave our friends on YouTube, what do you gentlemen have coming up on Baron Ormontag's Fandom Legacy and the Phantom Hooligans? I'll start with you, Cash.
All right. So let's see. Just in a few days, because tomorrow there is no stream because with the Beyond. So they did it.
There isn't?
Yeah.
That's
no,
right.
I don't. Right. Yeah, because Jace has to deal with some stuff. But yes, Friday at 6:30 p.m. because there's no Mike Tyson fight. Yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna bite somebody's ear off.
I got a paycheck. Yeah, we know, Mike. We know.
Yeah, you gave up a night of gaming to watch that stage phony thing. It's like
the girl fight was the best fight.
Okay. Then I forgive you.
The buffer fight, yes, that's known as the buffer fight.
Yeah, the buffer fight. Yeah.
The buffer movie fight
was buffering.
But this week, just in a few days, at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. So, Mike
totally
and I,
righteous, dude.
That's right. And Baron will be playing. Have you put any more time into that, Baron, off stream at all?
Which one's that?
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try doing a little bit more too.
Okay, great.
Tomorrow and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Turtles. I can be a
Turtles.
turtle.
And
Are you jealous, DJ? Are you jealous?
that's right.
I could be a
And
turtle.
part 2 of Hollow Knight will be released soon. It's not ready yet, but part 1 has already been released just recently, so I think that went well. I'm hopefully part 2 I'll get even more done. So that'll be on the Phantom Hooligans, and of course the Turtles will always be, all live streams will always be on Cash Money 007. And I have to thank Phil for recommending. I know I hate to do this, but I have to thank Phil for recommending me to start using my Twitch channel again recently. So why not? And then so that'll be on the Phantom Hooligans and the Twitch channel Cash Money 007. And then I'm also working on a new video that is a surprise on the Phantom Hooligans.
Nice.
Yeah. That's
Anything
all.
else?
Well, I mean, I will be uploading the Cranky Old Fans that Jace was nice enough to edit for us, Baron. He got it down to about 38 minutes, but I'll be uploading that soon over on Cash Money Madness on Rumble. So Rumble. And we'll be back, of course, next week with Cranky Old Fans at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Central. So that'll be fun. Have 2 more topics, and hopefully everything will go well.
Yeah, StreamYard was having issues last night.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately.
Yeah.
we did go over a few suggestions in case it's not StreamYard's.
Right.
and
I
there
wish
are
it
other
wasn't,
issues.
but it was, unfortunately. It's like, come on, it has to be on my side. Nope, StreamYard, fuck you guys. Yep.
All right. Anything else?
But that's all.
Okay. Baron Omen Tag.
Yeah. Well, I had this up, but he went out and made my job a little easier. So I guess there's only one thing that I have to talk about. That's right. On Monday on Baron Norman Tag's Fandom Legacy, you will find the newest episode of Contraband Police. That's right. Contraband Police. Great little indie game
Yeah, where
from
did you
Europe.
hide your drugs this time, Baron? Where did you hide your drugs this time?
We'll have to find out. Comrade. That's what they're looking at, comrade. And that's right. We are in a Soviet socialist state trying to keep you Westerners from coming in and polluting our great paradise. Coming in with your cheap cigarettes. Coming in with your cheap American alcohol. Instead of having the pure socialist Soviet vodka that we have. And our magnificent cigarettes. And that is going to be at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, Monday, on my channel. Again, that channel is Baron Norman Tag's Fandom Legacy. And other than that, I'm just hanging out with these guys. So, back to you, Mike.
And for everybody keeping score at home, that was more than one thing.
What was more than one thing? Me?
For promoting. Yeah.
Oh. What else did I promote? I just promoted one thing.
No, I believe he's referencing.
Oh, him?
Yeah, him. But as far as what's coming up on Pacific414, for tomorrow, I'll be playing more of Alien Isolation, trying to avoid androids, xenomorphs, and humans, and trying to get off the damn station. And also trying not to get myself killed. But that's okay, I got a flamethrower. I can burn stuff now.
Including yourself.
Yeah, true. That's probably going to be how it turns out. In the game, YouTube, in the game. And
just want to hug those androids, that's all. It'll be fine.
And then channel members, YouTube channel members, this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have our member stream. So come with whatever topics you want to talk about. You know how things go on the member streams. It's relaxed. You guys determine the topics and we go from there. And speaking of channel members, Stealth is optional members. On Sunday, you're all welcome to join Baron, Cash, and myself and discuss the topics we have lined up for Sunday's show. I'm already looking at a few topics to discuss. I'll have it all finalized probably Saturday, if not Friday at the earliest. So come one, come all, and let's have a great time sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying the conversation. And then, of course, the only other stream for next week will be Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure if it's going to be more Alien Isolation or if it's going to actually be Stalker 2. I was thinking originally it was going to be Alien Isolation, but I was watching Steven play, and that's Fat Steven over on Rumble, play Stalker 2, and I was in the process of getting it downloaded anyway, and it could be that, but I will definitely let you all know when I release the schedule Saturday, because it will be coming out Saturday. But other than that, that's pretty much what's coming up on the YouTube channel and also the Rumble channel. But those of you who are with us over on the YouTube side are more than welcome to continue with us over on the Rumble side if you would like. Let me go ahead and grab the link, as we are going to talk about
Link.
what happened yesterday between the Ukraine and Russia, and give our thoughts on that whole situation over there. But before we do that, I want to thank all of you who were over here on the YouTube side and Rumble side in the beginning for coming along and joining us for this conversation today. We had Tim, also known as FKHC 2005. The Long Suffering was also here. The Padawannabe was here. Jet Sparks was here. DJ Play Nice was here.
But
we also had Blue, and when I was seeing it over on the StreamYard site, you see how it comes up like this, and I'm thinking, oh great, we got a bot. And then I look over on the Rumble side, I go, no, it's not a bot, it's Blues.
Yeah, he's a friend. He's a friend, Mike.
Hold your fire, Mike. Hold your fire. That would be friendly fire, you asshole.
He was just about to toss him out the saloon window. He had him by the belt and by the scruff of his neck, and like, Mike, stop!
And you're wrong. Thank you for being here. You're wrong. Phil McCracken, thank you for being here, Phil.
Huh.
DJ Ronnie G, thank you, DJ.
Nerd.
Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. And Anonymous. I haven't played this too much in the last few weeks, but I'm going to play it now.
Anonymous. Anonymous. Anonymous.
And I'm just double checking to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Okay. And we also had Brandon Looney Tunes Fan 2000, who was here as well. So thank you very much. And again, folks, we are headed over to the Rumble side. So hope to see you there if you want to hear us talk about what happened yesterday. So let's go ahead. I know, I shouldn't even be humming, let alone singing.
He was humming. My God.
See you later, Baron Armentag's Fandom Legacy.
Bye, everybody.
And see you later. That's Wild Crocodile. Actually, not a while. I'll see you all tomorrow, YouTube. But come over to Rumble. You're all welcome.
Rumble.